Happy Wednesday, everybody. Andy and Steve from WagerTalk.com. Welcome to the Road to Millions. We've got a great show for everybody today, and there's no time to waste. We might as well just get right into it. While you're watching the show, please just hit the like button. It helps us out a ton with the algorithm. Let's Wager Talk know we're doing a good job for everybody. Today, we're going to go over the fade of the day, and you're gonna like our fade of the day when you see her. Sleeper of the day, we've got a really nice one in MLB. We got a great stat of the day, and we're gonna revisit the first quarter unders. We talked about it at the beginning of the season. We laid out the strategy. So we were going to wait a couple weeks and then start firing away a couple weeks into the season. So we're going to go over some of the teams that we're looking at that fit all the criteria for the first quarter unders. You're definitely going to want to stick around for that. We were number one in totals in the NFL on Wager Talk last year. So it's a strategy that works. And then we're going to go over a really good viewer question about it had to do with our 5% play last Sunday, but bigger picture is about what to do when the line moves against you and just kind of how to handle that. So great question, and we're looking forward to that. I did my special interview with my special guest yesterday, and I'm excited. It went way long because him and I just geeked out. So I'm
Nice.
gonna edit it down, and we are going to debut it Monday. So on Monday's show, we'll do all of our Monday Night Football things, and then we'll put it out. And I'm gonna save it for Monday for a very specific reason. But it went great, and I'm very very excited. It kind of has a little bit to do with gambling, but when you guys see who it is and you see what the topic is, you're gonna laugh and you're going to enjoy it. So, all right, and we're gonna go over Survivor picks as well. So we got an update here, and I will put the Survivor pick spreadsheet in the pinned comment on the show. So if you want to go in there and look, so we had a lot of people not make picks last week, Steve. That's kind of a
Yeah, and
bummer.
they missed out after winning. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
you win week one, and then they missed out week two.
yeah, that's all right.
But
So we'll go over that. We'll go over that. All right, let's get to the fade of the day. Steve, try and control yourself. We are fading the Karate Hottie. This is Michelle Watterson Gomez. Yes, that is a UFC fighter, and she's fighting Marina Rodriguez. And this fight fits. It's right up our alley because this is a fantastic parlay piece. Marina Rodriguez is minus 310. Most people would just overlook it and say, I'm not laying that kind of juice. We look at it and go, that is a perfect parlay piece. How can we use that? So Michelle Watterson Gomez, this is a clear OnlyFans theory. She is very, very concentrated on her social media and her OnlyFans. And if you don't know what the OnlyFans theory is, it's when these female fighters start up their OnlyFans and when it's very obvious that they're paying a lot more attention to OnlyFans than to their fighting careers. Especially when they get towards the end of
understandable.
yeah, right. When they get towards the end of their careers, they start OnlyFans. You can tell they're moving on to the next phase. So the Karate Hottie's 1-5 in her last 6 UFC fights. Her win was a split decision, Steve. So if one judge would have had one round going the other way in that fight, she'd be 0-6. So, yeah, she's a wrestler. She's not great at it, obviously. And Marina Rodriguez is coming off of 2 losses in a row. She lost to the number 4 and number 6 in the division. And this is actually a rematch. These two fought a couple years ago. Marina Rodriguez won. She won unanimous, outstruck Watterson 144 to 100, something like that. So this is a rematch. And Marina Rodriguez, I mean, she was very close to being on a title run. So she's better everywhere, much better striking. Michelle Watterson is going to try and wrestle. She had over 3 minutes of control in the last fight, but that was over 5 rounds. Didn't do any damage to it. So it's just a bad matchup. And we're starting to get towards the end for Michelle Watterson. She's on very, very thin ice. 1-5 in last fights. I mean, after what happened on Contender Series last night, that's a story for another day. Dana White is not too quick to cut attractive female fighters. We'll just say that. But this is just not a good matchup for the Karate Hottie. So we're going to be fading her, and we're going to put her in we're going to put Marina Rodriguez in a parlay. This is a great get right spot for Marina Rodriguez. So we are fading the Karate Hottie. Steve, sleeper of the day. Let's go to the diamond. A beautiful catch last night in MLB. That felt good to get off to a good start. First off, right?
Yeah, for sure. It felt great to shake the rust off. rough week in the MLB last week after a great week the prior week. So we're looking to bounce back and finish strong here down the regular season stretch.
So what do we like? Cole Calhoun here.
Yeah, this is a really good sleeper because if you look at it, he doesn't have a very good stat line because he just joined the Guardians at the beginning of August. So he only has a couple of months under his belt in the MLB this season, but he's heated up recently. He's over his hits plus runs plus RBIs in 3 of his last 4 games, couple home runs in the last week. The key here, he's 12 for 25 with 2 home runs against Zach Greinke, and Greinke has been bad. 1-15 on the season, 5.39 ERA. Opponents are hitting 288 against him, and the other thing is he hasn't been lasting very deep into games. He's going about 2 to 4 innings in his last handful of starts. He's not going very deep, and this Kansas City pen is one that's very hittable as well. Calhoun bats 4th, so he's going to get plenty of spots to drive in runs here. And he's also, it's a day game, so it's an afternoon game. So if you want to get this one in, you'll have to get it in the next, you'll have actually you got plenty of time, but you have to get it in this afternoon if you want to play this one. But he hits better during the day. He hits better on the road. And this is a great spot for him against Greinke. So I'm going to be going sleeper here, Cole Calhoun over 1.5 HRR.
Nice breakdown. Greinke. Look at that.
I saw that. I saw
Greinke. Oh, well. It's supposed to be an E. None of us caught that one. Yikes. So, oh, well.
I saw that.
What are you going to do? So, it's his younger brother, Greinke. That's the other brother. It's the other brother. So, yeah, nice breakdown on the sleeper of the day on Cole Calhoun there. So, all right, stat of the day. You couldn't help yourself. You Patriots fans, you just can't help yourself. Just kicking teams why they're down. All right, go ahead.
So the New England Patriots have won 14 straight games against the Jets. This is a streak that dates back to December 27th of 2015. Garrett Wilson wasn't old enough to drive the last time the Jets beat the Patriots. The Patriots have also won 23 of their last 25 head-to-head games against the Jets, and the Pats' money line this weekend is only negative 135. The Jets haven't beat the Patriots since Rex Ryan was the head coach. That was when the last time the Jets gave us trouble was when Rex Ryan was the head coach, and I mean, part of it is that, Belichick is just so good against these young quarterbacks, and the Jets have had a lot of them and a lot of not very good ones over the past years. So 14 straight games. That's 7 straight seasons of Jets losing to the Patriots, and I'm looking for the Patriots to get off the schneid here. They've had a couple of tough losses, man. They couple of games that they could have easily won, and the Jets are in a bad spot, obviously without Rodgers now.
Well, I gotta say, I mean, you guys started off with a murderer's row. Eagles and the Dolphins. What are those 2 of the top 3 teams in the league?
And it doesn't end either. We have the Saints and the Cowboys coming up. The Patriots have a brutal schedule. I was looking at it, and it's like you look at it and you say, like, man, okay, with the Commanders game, that's an easy one. And then you're like, I don't know, they're looking pretty good. I don't know if there's any easy games. I mean, the Jets may be the easiest game the Patriots have this season is the 2 against the Jets.
It's crazy to think. I mean, their defense is good, but my God, Zach Wilson is Belichick just feasts on Zach Wilson. I mean, he's like a lion looking at a herd of injured elk. I mean,
yeah.
So there's your stat of the day. I mean, God, that's amazing. So, man, I got to tell you, that Rex Ryan kind of regime, God, they gave everybody trouble, didn't they?
They gave the Patriots a lot of trouble. That was the time when the Jets, that was the time when the Patriots struggled against the Jets, at least a little bit. The Jets actually beat us in a playoff game. You know what I mean?
Beat us too. They came into our house with Mark Sanchez, and they beat Peyton Manning and them. So, yeah, man, God, they were annoying.
That's the last time they were really a problem for the Patriots. Was back when Rex was the head coach.
Yeah, so great stat of the day. I mean, if you believe the trend is your friend, that minus 135 looks like a gift, doesn't it?
And I mean, I know I could be a little bit biased here, but I feel like it is a great spot for the Patriots. Perfect. They really could have won conceivably either of their first two games if they would have not. I mean, against the Eagles, if they just didn't let them score so many points on the defensive touchdowns and stuff early, they would have had a better chance. And they gave Miami a game too. I mean, it's a young team, the Patriots now, and they're not. What I mean? They don't have the offense that we once had, but the defense is outstanding.
Let's take a look at first quarter unders. So we did this last year, and so here's what we like about first quarter unders. We're looking what we like about them is you seem to get a good price. That it's always shaded to the over, and we're looking at totals that are over 7. So we want it to be where you have to get a touchdown and a field goal in order for the over to hit. So, and I will say the books are not going to get beat up this year on the first quarter unders like they have in the years past. They're kind of giving us some tough numbers. But we said we wanted to wait and look for teams that fit the criteria. So what we're looking for is teams that struggle on offense and teams that are good on defense. Particularly, we're looking for teams that run the ball, keep that clock running. It's amazing how many first quarter unders we cash because the team's able to run the ball and they're inside the red zone at the end of the first quarter, but they just let the clock run out because there's no urgency. So let's take a look at teams that are 2-0 to the under already. And we'll see if any of them fit the trend. So we got the Falcons, the Ravens, the Panthers, the Bengals, the Jaguars, the Chiefs, and the Vikings. So initial thoughts on this, Steve. What do you make of this group of teams?
For me, this is a surprising list. It has none of the teams that I initially had jotted down as teams to track. Looking at the first quarter under coming into the year or after the first 2 weeks, it's surprising that a lot of these teams are on the list, but I know that there's a couple of them that are there for a reason, obviously. I'm surprised. I mean, you got to be surprised to see a team like the Vikings on the
That
list.
was the weird one. Like,
it must be because they have a big number. Maybe potentially they have a 10.5 on them. Sometimes, you know what I mean? So that could be part of it.
Yeah. So the Falcons make sense. They run the ball a lot. Their defense is serviceable. Ravens, there's a running team. I think their defense is overachieving right now. They had a lot of injuries and they're playing okay. The Panthers actually makes a ton of sense. That defense is good. They got some real players on that team. And the offense is just, talk about not being able to put up a lot of points. Good Lord. Bengals is kind of surprising because their offense is pretty terrible at this point with Burrow and the injuries. The Jaguars, I don't really have an opinion on, but I got to tell you, I've been a big, like, the Chiefs' defense is good and their offense is sputtering. That wide receiving core is terrible. I got to tell you, that's my favorite team on this list. It's so counterintuitive.
Yeah, when I saw the Chiefs on the list, I knew that you were gonna love that because I know that you've been talking a lot about their defense this year, and you are right. It's just not the old Chiefs that we're used to. You think about the Chiefs and you think about 30 points a game. It's gonna be a shootout, and that's how it's just gonna be, and that's how it always has been with Patrick Mahomes. But this is a different team. They don't have the weapons, and with Kelsey, coming in banged up now, that he's not as big of a factor. And not to say that he's not a big of a factor, but he's just not worked into the offense fully yet. And they don't have the weapons around him to complement him at this point either.
No, and they play the Bears. The Bears are a little worrisome because their defense is awful. So, like, you could see the Chiefs carving them up, but that defense is not going to let Chicago score. That defense is going to bottle up Chicago pretty good, I would think. I would think so. I checked. The number's 9.5. So, like, that's about as big as a first quarter over gets. So, you could even get away with a touchdown and a field goal if they miss the extra point.
Yeah,
100%.
And that's what's nice about getting. We look for the over 7.5 for obvious reasons. But yeah, that if you can get over that 10, that's even whenever you see those, it's the teams that you don't want to play on the first quarter unders. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Other teams to consider. We took a look at the Jets, the Patriots, the Steelers, the Browns, and the Titans. Couple interesting things about this one. So the Browns and the Steelers, so they're not 2-0 because they played each other and there was a there was a defensive touchdown on like what the first play of the game or
Yeah.
like 10 seconds into the game there's a quick defensive score. That's the death of first quarter unders. But the rest of the game was, a rock fight, and both those teams kind of fit the mold. I mean, neither one of those offenses look good. Their defenses look pretty good. Um, and the Jets and the Patriots, I love what you noticed about them. Like they fit the mold, good defenses, kind of sputtering offenses. They're not 2-0 to the under, but what'd you notice about those two teams?
Yeah, so the Patriots are 1-1 to the first quarter unders, and the Jets have a win and a push. But those numbers could be better. They both played, potent offenses in the first couple of weeks. You got the Patriots playing the Eagles and the Dolphins, and the Jets played the Cowboys and the Bills. And for that matter, in the Patriots game as well against the Eagles scored right out of the gate on defense. You know what I mean? So when they're playing head up against each other, especially this week, the Patriots and Jets, unfortunately, we get a 6.5 on that game. So we're way below the line. It's at plus money, but it's dicey when you get those because even the best defenses and most stagnant offenses combined, they can sneak one touchdown in the first quarter and kill you.
Oh, it's a Zach Wilson interception.
Yeah,
I mean,
something like that.
first drive, you give the Patriots great field position, or it's a pick six going the other way or something. So yeah, we cannot take the unders on under 6.5. It's just too risky. A touchdown can kind of pop up out of nowhere. So there's a couple good lines that we like. So these are the teams that we're going to monitor. And honestly, guys, you only need one or two teams that fit this mold, and you just ride them for the rest of the season. And so that's what we're looking to do. So we've narrowed down the teams for the first quarter unders. And of course, all those plays will be up at WagerTalk.com. So, all right, you want to do the viewer question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Actually, real quick, let me do a little promo here. Just plays that we have up here at Wager Talk. We do have our MLB play of the day. Beautiful win last night. The Rays get there late. And then 5% UFC, man. We hit our Dana White Contender Series play last night. That moves us to 11-1.
It's amazing, man.
It's
Great
been
run.
a hell
Great
of a run. Just a hell of a run. So those plays are up. And as soon as props start coming out, we'll have our Thursday night football play up. And we'll also have our 5% play up for the NFL, 2-0 on those. But for now, if you do not have the 5% UFC best bet, go grab that thing and go grab that MLB play of the day. I was really happy with how last week went in terms of, we got off to a slow start. And we just said, forget it for the rest of the week. And we would have cost ourselves a little bit of units, come back, fresh start, get the win last night. So I got high hopes for MLB today. So go grab those. And yes, I know Monday, September 18th, I didn't change the date there. All right. Viewer question. So Steve, let's talk about the premise. So we had a 5% play on Zach Wilson passing yards last week. We liked the under 176.5. We play it early because we want to beat the line. We wake up Sunday morning. Not only has it gone up, it went up 10 yards. So now we're staring 186.5 in the face. So the question is, why wouldn't you double down if you take the lower number and the line goes up over 10.5 yards? So the question is, okay, you liked it at 176.5. Sure, you got to love it at 186.5. So let's talk this out. Why wouldn't we double down and take it if the line moves against us?
Well, just off the bat, 5% is our max play, and we're at the point where we're kind of almost nervous about even those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have our general plays are 2-3%. If it has a lot of a juice or something like that, we're down to 1, and even sometimes a half unit on some things if it's a sprinkle play or something like that, where where it's high juice or it's a big plus money play. But yeah, you don't want to put yourself into a situation where now, first off, the lines move the opposite way. So, it's looking like now that they're thinking he's going to go over. You know what I mean? That old number that we're going to lose on that. So doubling down on that could only really cause more problems. I mean, 10, and we're just not comfortable either. We're never going to be comfortable having 10% of our bankroll on one play, because as good of a play as you can ever find there's no such thing as they always say this, but there's no such thing as a sure thing. And that's just 100% true. Anything can happen, an injury, a key turnover. There's many different things that you can list for a reason why there's no such thing as a sure thing, and having 10% of your bankroll on one play is something we just don't do.
The line, what the perk of putting in plays early is we hope to beat the line. When we all saw that line on Sunday morning, I seriously was sick. All of us, our heart just sank because when you see a move that aggressive, it's like we missed something. They expect it to go over. Like, what happened? Do the Cowboys have an injury in the secondary? Did someone get word that the Jets are going to throw the ball a ton? When that line moves against you, honestly, I was just terrified. And I was like, we're so in trouble. This line move never makes any sense. So instead of being excited, we were all very nervous about that line move. And
100%.
like we had a soccer play and it was great, locked in, and then all of a sudden the line started moving against us and moving against us and moving against us, and then right before game time, the coach benches their best player, and you're just stuck. You're like, okay, we missed the line move, and did the play win? Of course not, because the best players are not freaking out there. They get beat 2-0. So when you have an aggressive line move against you, I think you're just kind of stuck there, and you're kind of in a situation where you just need to take the loss, and you don't want to dig yourself a deeper hole. You don't want to make it worse. If the line would have moved in the other direction, I would have felt so much better because we're sitting on a better number. That means we beat the line, and that's what you want to be. You want to do that more times than not. But when the line moves against you, you do not want to compound a problem. We had a big problem with that line move, and honestly, we were one pass away from losing that play. Like
Yeah.
it was 176 and a half. Wilson hits the freaking crossing route to Garrett Wilson the first half for like 70 yards. That's a massive chunk of the 176. And to be honest, Zach Wilson landed on 170. He was one screed pass. He was one garbage time to killing the 176 and a half and killing the 186 and a half. So we were really, really close on the edge of that play. And if we would have 10% on that play, oh my God. Oh my God. So when you miss the number like that, I think you just stuck. And we always preach this. The best way to make money is to not lose it. And when we do the road to millions, we talk about like anybody can go on a winning streak, but it's how you manage the losses and the losing streaks that's really going to save you money. And this was a situation where you just got to grin and bear it and take it on the chin that we had a really, really bad line move against us. So we never want to overexpose ourselves, especially on one play and especially when the line moved against it. So if you're on the opposite side of a line move, don't make it worse. Don't put more money in. Don't, just kind of take your lumps and move on to the next one. We always have a ton of plays, and it really is the model. On to the next one. We missed this one. We don't want to make it worse. So, anything else to add to this one?
And just that you're right that play at the end, it could have one less Dallas Cowboys interception.
Yeah.
They kept picking it off and they kept having chances to ice the game. And that, especially that last chance where there was about 4 or 5 minutes left and they could have just iced it. They gave him another chance, and it was nerve wracking. And if we would have had 10% on it, I don't know if Andy would have made it through that one.
No, we wouldn't have been recording Road to Million. It'd have been Road to Hundreds.
Yeah,
on Monday morning.
That morning I knew that you weren't feeling very good about the play anymore after that line movement, and I can't say that I was excited. I was at the point where it's like we're in for it. You know what I mean? There's nothing we can do about this now. We've given it out. We've We've betted ourselves, and there's nothing we can do about it. There's no cashing out on props. You know what I mean? So but so you just got to grin and bear it. But I couldn't see making it worse by doubling the bet, especially on a bet that size. That's a big bet for us.
Yeah. So, just be careful if the line moves against you. So, honestly, if the line would have moved 10 yards below us, oh man, are we feeling great? Boy, if that thing would have moved to 166 and a half and we're sitting on an under of 176, now we're just like feeling great. And then it opens up some, middling opportunities if you want to live bet and guarantee yourself profits, So yeah, that's line move. When the line moves against you, don't make it worse. Just move on to the next one. Don't compound the problem. So, Survivor update: 33 people remaining. I put the spreadsheet in the pinned comment. You can start putting your picks in today. Submit your pick for week 3 in the comment section. If I somehow missed your pick, just look in the spreadsheet and see, and then I'll try and find where I missed it. But I'm pretty sure I got everybody in there. So down to 33 people. Steve, you and I advanced. So yay us.
Yeah, come on,
Um,
you can't let us win. 31
don't
of you can't let us win this thing. So
don't
knock
don't
us off.
don't let us win. And I will tell everyone the winner gets, as part of their prize pack, how about that?
Nice.
Custom little Road to Millions trophy. So that
Love
these
it.
are, yeah, these are the prizes that are going out for whoever wins the UFC contest and the UFC videos, and then the Survivor, along with some other things. So
Love it.
yeah, so go ahead and get those picks in, and we'll get everything taken care of with the Survivor. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for the Road to Millions. Don't forget to get our plays at WagerTalk.com. Put your pick for Survivor in the comment section. Let us know what your favorite play is today. Hit the like button. Good luck starting tomorrow. We got some busy NFL shows Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Get you prepared for the NFL weekend. Good luck on all your plays, and we'll see everyone later.
Good luck.